they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Chimo, poor man picking, they the street.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary.
I miss you too.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today. Yes, it's going to be an interesting night as well, as always, right? But share the broadcast. Invite them. I've got something that will probably interest you. Yeah, try.
Mayegun diary political.
It is the turn of the lawyers to cash out. It all started from the delegates. From delegates to INEC. From INEC now to court. But there is something that I want to say to you tonight, which I sincerely believe. You see, that worst day, post-election problem, crisis, riot, and all of that, that sort of enveloped the pre-election wahala, including the fuel scarcity, Naira scarcity, and other scarcities in Nigeria prior to the elections. That predicted a possible tension. I don't know if I should say it's quite over now. You know why? I will tell you tonight. Life is a teacher, as they say. The more you live, the more you learn. I am happy that so many of you obedient, who are first-time participants in the Nigeria traditional sham called elections. You needed this experience. And in fact, it is also going to help you in understanding why a lot of us said, as much as it is tempting participating in an election, that the rules are written by your oppressors, where you had no single say, is honestly expected never to be fair. But you tried anyway. You challenged the system. You shocked the system. Initially, we thought it was all noise. I mean, a lot of people believe that it was all noise, even though some still believe that now. I don't. But there's something I want you to know. You have proven that the establishment can be indeed vanquished. But it is just that using election or validating elections is a bit complicated. It is like participating in a game. And after you get rigged out of it, cheated, which is considered you losing out, fighting back is not going to be seen as You will think, and I'll tell you, they will call you sore losers, even when you are publicly cheated. You have shown everybody that these guys' only structure in Nigeria politics is the violence, state capture, institutional corruption. That's all they need, and that's all they mean. However, it seems to be the turn of the lawyers now. You are not going to protest. Political revolution is crushed again. Revolution is what we need. We need the revolution to get out of this mess. No. We don't want revolution. We need political revolution, which indeed your movement represents. Now, this is not to chastise you, okay? I'm on your side, by the way, and I'll tell you why. Because you took Nigeria establishment to the cleaners. Today, even ordinary little boy or girl can tell you with facts how corrupt Nigeria election is. The winner, or the one that many of you are going to say, not my president, no, not my president, and all that, has already lacked legitimacy. However, it is not how Nigeria works. Nigeria is a crime scene. All win now win. And that's exactly what it means for the establishment. Going to their courts simply means you still have to dance according to their rules. Talking about experience. In 2019, there are many of your uncles right now, aunties. Okay, I'm not talking to you, the first-time participants now. I'm referring to those your senior ones who participated in 2019. My dear, INEC of Nigeria made rules, publicized it, and did so many PR. When the election came, they changed it. They were paid over 80 billion naira. They said they were arranging something called server. Listen to this. So 2019, it was so popular. So they introduced what they call the fingerprint or something to check your card when you are voting. Everything sounded so like, well, rigging is not going to happen. But guess what? There is no rigging that takes place in Nigeria that doesn't include or involve the INEC. It is the INEC that rig election in Nigeria. Every other drama you see around, right? That is why they say it is not those who actually vote that really count. Now those where they count your votes, now them decide which votes actually count. So they built a server. Election was to be transmitted into it so that if anybody feels like they've been cheated, all you have to do is to go to court, ask court for a warrant so that you can access all of the data inside that data bank. They called it server. I don't even know why they called it server. Anyway, that is where they were supposed to store all of the valid votes casted in an election. When they got to Supreme Court, they called INEC as a star witness. INEC, in your own server that you said you have, we want you to present it as evidence in court. 80 billion server. INEC boldly said they had no server. No server, no server, server, no server, server, no server. That was where Tanko technicality, Babalawo Ife, the Sharia court that they made the Supreme Court Chief Justice of Nigeria said, based on technicality, because of technicality, they cannot cancel the election. Therefore, Boko Haram has won. That was the end of the story. I am telling you this story because it is Nigeria, where your evidence doesn't really matter. It is the interest and the mood of the owners of Nigeria that are already aligning behind the man that Atiku said stole his votes. Peter Obi said that stole his own votes too. And they are going to court to challenge him until you get there and realize that half of the justices at the Supreme Court, one time or another, maybe when they were judge of a court or somewhere in Lagos, Kolu has already gifted them choice property or choice land in choice areas in Lagos, expensive ones, and they owe him. Now, when you get there, you realize, and you will tell a lot about all of them too, how corrupt they are, but you're not going to be able to do anything. I'm coming. So they nullified the whole thing. They said, well, it's true that the election was not perfect, but nevertheless, it's not enough to say Bokuwari didn't win. That was the end of the story. INEC publicly lied to you, deceived you. I said that they cannot be trusted because they are not going to make rules that are going to punish them or take power away from them. And you said, let them rig us out first. They will see what will happen. Unfortunately, as much as you would love to show how angry you are and take it up with them, for participating, you have implicated yourself, and then they can easily charge you for treason, roll out their soldiers and start shooting and killing you, jailing and the rest of that, even arrest your presidential candidate. It is Nigeria. It's a crime scene. When I tell you that, don't think it's not possible. It's Nigeria. The INEC chairman went on a sort of a campaign explaining that, all that stuff. However, that changed. It changed. And today, Atiku and then Obi, they are going it separately. In fact, Atiku said that Kolu, it's not only Kolu that stole his votes. Obi contesting, in fact, made them lose all that votes to Labour Party. So it would have been 12 million for for PDP. And he also said he was considering making Peter Obi his vice president before Peter Obi, out of impatience, left to join Labour Party. If he had waited, he would have considered him instead of considering Okowa. Okowa that invested almost 300 billion naira, Delta State money, is actually not even the first choice of Atiku. Anyway, without wasting much of your time, right? There are more than that, okay? Today, the Supreme Court of Nigeria said that Emefiele must be thrown under the bus. Expectedly, yeah? They are now blaming Emefiele for the Naira redesign, as well as the Naira policy, the scarcity, and everything that happened before the elections, concerning Naira and all of that. Emefiele is about to be thrown under the bus. As the Supreme Court says, your old notes and your new notes should remain legal tender till December 31st, 2023. The reason is because the policy is fine, but the implementation is awkward, and it has created hardship. So that means that Bokuwari, whatever the game was, somebody said the damages has been done. No, it's not done yet. They are not done yet. Immediately they left the court, right? El Rufaya of Kaduna came out and said, well, we appreciate the fact that the Supreme Court has set the whole agenda clear now. However, we just want people to know that we have defeated them. We defeated them because PDP was the reason why Emefiele changed Nigeria money. Said PDP was the reason why Emefiele decided to make old notes illegal. And Emefiele misled Bokuwari to approve that idea That's what they have figured out. So, for all of your sufferings, maybe Emefiole can finally be handcuffed at last. I mean, let me take you to that Supreme Court before we come back to those who are going to court. Inside that court today.
You are more than surviving. You are more than I just came back with. All right.
So let's go outside the court, okay? This video, the credit for this video goes to the Viable TV. You can see them on YouTube and everywhere, right? Let's hear what they have to say outside the courtroom.
What's your take on the court's decision? Today is a day of happiness for all Nigerians. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has given us all the reliefs that we sought for by a very unanimous judgment. The full court of 7 justices gave a unanimous judgment, 7-0, that all our prayers to the court have been accepted. This is a victory for Nigerians because this policy, which was designed and targeted at a political party and its candidates, has brought untold hardship on our people. This is why the 3 of us took a decision to come to the Supreme Court. We are APC members. The President of Nigeria is from the APC, but we disagreed with him on this policy and its implementation. And when we tried everything to settle this behind closed doors, we had no option but to come to the Supreme Court. We are very grateful to the court for its unanimous decision and the orders it has given to the government, federal government of Nigeria, to ensure that from today till the 31st of December 2023, the old Naira notes of all denominations shall continue to circulate side by side with the new Naira notes. That's the major decision of the Supreme Court. The other decision is that the policy of currency confiscation, where you deposit money in the bank and the bank chooses what to give you, is unlawful and illegal and shall end forthwith. So Nigerians can go to the bank and collect whatever they have deposited and get on with their lives. Those that said that we went to the court because of elections are wrong. We went to the court because our people in our states are suffering and businesses in our states are coming to a halt and lives were being destroyed. That's why we went to court. We left elections in the hands of God and we all know the result. Even though this policy was designed to ensure that we did not win the presidential elections, we have won. But the policy must go because the Supreme Court has now decided that it was unlawfully conceived, it was unlawfully implemented, and the Supreme Court has extended the legal tender status of all our notes, old and new, at least to 31st December. And if before 31st December we feel the need to come back to the court, I will not be a governor then, but these two, by the grace of God, will still be governors. They will come back to the Supreme Court if we need to extend it further. but we hope that will not be necessary. That is all I have to say. I would like my colleagues who started this reform journey with me, because it's not rebellion, it's reform. We came to the Supreme Court to make Nigeria better. And by this judgment, no future president or central bank governor can come and announce a policy that ambushes the lives and the livelihoods of the Nigerian people anymore. We are very proud of what we have done, no matter what people say about us. So I would like to ask my colleagues, Governor Yahaya Bello, to add to what I have said, and Governor.
Secondly, this particular decision today has laid a solid foundation for our incoming president, the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to start and cruise on a solid foundation. This particular decision today has proven that Nigerian law is a respecter of no one, including Mr. President. Nobody can take the laws for granted and go scot-free. This is what it has proven today. I congratulate Nigerians. I congratulate the common man. And I sympathize and condole those that have lost their lives in this struggle to ensure that they earn their livelihood. You did not deserve it. And that is why our leader here, Governor El-Rufai, myself, and Governor Matawale, and all other governors, including some PDP governors, especially the governor of Rivers State,
Sokoto and Abia.
That is Governor Wike, Governor Tambuwal, and Governor Ukpeazu. You know, we all jointly come together to make sure we save our people. And today, Nigerians can have their lives. We appreciate all, and we appreciate the media for the role you have played in this struggle. You ensure that our struggle
going on since 7 a.m. As I speak with you, sources say the warehouse has not gone off. Palliative that were supposed to be given to people during the COVID-19 period was hidden away in a warehouse, and Nigerians were dying of hunger and starvation. Look at this man struggling to survive.
Yes. Can you imagine?
Look at him. Something that is supposed to be brought to his home.
This thing for the past 2 hours.
Look at it.
It is still full.
You mean?
It's fully loaded. The warehouse is fully loaded.
Can you imagine?
Nigeria has more than enough. Nigeria has more than enough.
The Navy has collected their own. The armies have put their truck, collected their own. Immigration, custom, last man. And the warehouse has not gone half. The warehouse has not gone half. The warehouse has not gone half. Palliative for the poor, stored away. This is October 21st, 2020. Palliatives that were supposed to be shared in May were stored away. Some of the products are even expired. Look at how people are struggling.
They are not expired though. 2021.
No, you see.
You see,
people are struggling. You see. Look at it.
I saw another way I'll see there for Ikeja. Another one for Ikeja. Lagos State.
Look at it. Not for sale. Not for sale. They stored it. Look at it. Not for sale. They stored it. Wait. Let me see the pack. Now see. Look at it. COVID-19. Not for sale.
COVID-19.
The poor are suffering, and they stored it in a warehouse. Look at people passing through canal just to survive. Hunger in the land.
A sachet of packet tomato, 120 naira.
Look at people struggling to survive.
We are suffering.
Look at people.
Bag of rice, 40,000 naira.
Look at people.
Ego has come to our aid. These people are looters.
So talking about fighting for the people. We all know why they went to the Supreme Court. We all know why they brought their chip on you. We just don't know. We just don't know that they are living in their own different world, making themselves believe that they're actually doing all of this for you. Anyway, that was 2020. Something just made me want to, I just remember that, talking about people saying they are fighting for you and all of that. However, let's come back to that their election, because that's the rider for this broadcast. It was the semi-INEC chairman, right, who said this just few days before your elections. For the diary.
Only last week, we commenced the training of master trainers on election technology to ensure a seamless process. Beginning from tomorrow, we will commence the same training at zonal level and subsequently train all the ad hoc staff for the 176,846 polling units nationwide. On this note, let me once again reassure Nigerians that there is no going back on the deployment of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for voter accreditation. There is no going back on the transmission of results on the INEC result viewing portal, the real time on election day. There will be no incident form that enables ineligible persons to vote using other people's permanent voters' cards during elections. We are committed to ensuring that the 2023 general election is transparent and credible, reflecting the will of the Nigerian people. The critical foundation for credible election is the voters' register. You may recall that the CVR, which started on the 28th of June 2021, lasted for 13 consecutive months until its suspension on 31st July 2022. During that period, the Commission gave Nigerians regular weekly update showing the progress of the exercise nationwide, including analysis of the distribution of voters by age, occupation, gender, and disability for our planning purposes and for public information. At the end of the exercise, 12,298,944 Nigerians successfully completed the registration as new voters. All along, we have repeatedly assured Nigerians.
Anyway, so one of the arguments of the obedient is that if over 12 million people struggled, suffered to register and get their voters card, why would anybody believe that these 12 million people are not ready to also vote too? And if in your last election you had about 30 million people who participated in your elections, right? How come with extra 12 million, how come the people that participated in this one are now like 23 million or 22 million? The number, not the number, the numbers are not numbering anymore. Anyway, this is me taking you to their press conference after the elections, okay? Obi said he has evidence that he won and he will prove it in court. Atiku said he has evidence that he won and he will also prove it in court. But what is kind of surprising is that Atiku, Kwakwanso, and then, Atiku and Kwakwanso, they are now saying that they are ready to join Obi to reclaim their mandate from APC. But according to the INEC results, Kolu scored 8.6 million or thereabouts. Atiku scored 6.9 million. Obi scored 6.1. So Obi is third. But I will let you listen to their presser, like both sides. Let's go to that of Obi, which happened to be the only person that I know of after their election who actually gave sort of a minute remembrance, a minute silence to those who lost their lives, those who were injured, families and all that during this whole election, you know, that kind of a part. I don't know if it's part of this, but let's go to his presser, which he gave yesterday. Let's watch.
rest in peace. Amen. May their families be consoled and God grant them the fortitude to bear their irreplaceable loss. Amen. May all those who have injuries, sustained one injuries, or had one loss to the other, may God grant them quick recovery and also compensate for their losses. Amen. Amen. We pray to God the Almighty to continue to bless, protect our dear country, Nigeria. Amen. Amen. Again, my dear people, let me again correct one impression, because I've seen some people saying in the media that I released one news or the other. I have never, directly or indirectly, spoken or released any message since after voting on the 25th. My last comment in the media was immediately after voting on the 25th, and I've never done so until now. So whatever you see in the media, please disregard. It's not coming from me, directly or indirectly. This is my first time of speaking, coming out to the media, and I thank all of you for your understanding. For me, it's a very simple thing, is to speak to Nigerians who on the 25th of February trooped out en masse as committed citizens to participate in what all of us know as what are called existential election for supposedly free, fair, credible, presidential, and National Assembly election. We enjoy, and in all things we give thanks to God. For me, number one thing is gratitude. Gratitude to God Almighty that continue to protect and bless our dear country, Nigeria. Number two is gratitude to Nigerians that participated in the election, answering the call as true citizens in our dear country. Number three is gratitude to those of Nigerians, especially the youth, that believed and worked tirelessly for a new Nigeria, and trusting that new Nigeria on that thing and my good self. I thank them for their hard work. Gratitude to the obedient youths, those who believe that a new Nigeria is possible. And I say to them that a new Nigeria is possible, and we will work for that new Nigeria that is possible. Their resilience, their hard work for a new Nigeria should not be wasted.
And it should not go to waste. I mean, you won't believe it all. Millions of people glued to their screen because they're waiting for his broadcast yesterday. it got to the part where it was being asked questions about what's he going to do and all of that stuff. Let me take you to that part so that, you know, we can save time.
Have you spoken? Have you reached out to the man that has been declared winner for Tinubu?
Well, you did ask me the process and the areas. If I tell you all this, I don't know what I'll be telling the court. We have passed the stage of that because we were asked to go to the court. Isn't that what it said? It said so. So let's go there. Remember that I'm obedient. I want to tell you, I'm going to go where I'm directed to go. And then you will see where and how. But just to give you an emphasis, in 2015, the number of registered voters, if I can remember, is about, what was it again? About 67 million registered voters and 29.4 voted. In 2019, that tally increased to about 84 million. And about 28.4 million voted. And then we were told that about 11 million registered in 2022, if I'm correct, which brought the registration to about 95, but 87 collected their PVC because of the issue of not being able to collect their PVC. But only 23.3 million voted. You can see how Nigeria works. So we have an increase of 11 million. And the voters dropped sharply by over 20% instead of increasing. The reason it was due to manipulation and reduction and removal and inputs of votes here and there. Because otherwise the number is supposed to have increased. It didn't increase. Because people were busy doing what is wrong. And we have chosen, I will challenge this rascality for the future of the country. Nigeria cannot conduct election 63 years after independence. It's something everybody should reflect on. Unexamined life is not worth living. And we can't go on like this. Shehu, you asked about the alliance. We are not in alliance. We are discussing and in partnership with other people and any other Nigerian who feels hot as we do. I've said it and I repeat, I have all my life challenged a process than what they do thereafter. We must not have people who have the moral authority because of the process who come into it. Shehu, if we use the process we use today, tell me how we can tell the train robber, the kidnapper.
My question is just about the judiciary. You're going to court. There have been concerns about
observers and political experts who say that for you to be able to reclaim a mandate, like you said, has been taken from you, you need to prove abundantly enough that the suppression, voter suppression that has been alleged, the violence and everything that happened on Saturday was enough to sway the votes in your direction. So do you have abundantly enough evidence to do so?
Well, let me again say it. We're not yet in court. That is why the court exists. And they've asked me to go to court. And I want to go to court. I don't want to answer questions on my way to court. I want to go to court.
Okay. All right, Tomo, come. I wanted to travel this way, but I see you are... Okay.
My name is Omar Bazwai and I report for Arise TV. I just want to ask you, because you told us some moments ago that you have been having series of meetings with a lot of people, people from the international community, and maybe back home here in Nigeria. Do you feel like you are under any pressure from anywhere?
Not at all. I can tell you, nobody will ever put me under pressure when I challenge misconduct, rascality, or illegal process. Because it's not about it's not about, you can't, how do you put the person who is doing kidnapping under pressure? We're challenging what is wrong. It is not about me, it's not about you, it's about the society our children will live in. And I want people to understand that. I'm challenging a process that is faulty, a process that is wrong. It could be anybody. It is not about anything. So there's no pressure. Nobody has. And they know they will not.
Okay, the lady at the back here. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rena Opozegi. I work for Dark Communications AIT. So I want to ask you, how are you engaging the international communities on the outcome of the elections?
Thank you very much. Now the real AIT, not former AIT.
Quite frankly, I'm not unless on invitation, I'm not engaging any international community or international body, because I feel this is the Nigerian problem. And this is time we have to start solving our problem. Elections have been conducted in all parts of Africa. And nobody have ever seen something near what we're going through here. So I'm not consulting anybody.
Okay.
It's a long chat. I could only show you just a part of it. Many of you have listened to it already, okay? But just for the context of this chat. So that was him answering question from the press yesterday concerning his step. And then today, there is already, oh, hang on, where did I leave that? Oh, no, I didn't have it on the screen. I'll bring that back up for everybody to see, okay? So he already filed his request through a court today, asking the court to give him access, or sorry, to order INEC to give him access into all the results they announced. Prior to that, the Obi and his campaign, The Obedience, they've already opened their own situation room where all of the results across Nigeria, including the votes scored by the PDP and APC, have been collated. So they want to compare with what INEC failed to upload by following their own law. So at the end of the day, it will be a legal battle where billions and billions and billions of your money would have to go to the lawyers. That first court paper I put on your screen earlier, that was 6 or 7 state governors challenging. They went to the Supreme Court to tell the Supreme Court that they should cancel the president-elect Tinubu. He didn't win. They should cancel this. Yeah. But this evening, before we started this program, the same people, they've withdrawn that case. So it's irrelevant as we speak. So they want to compare OB. I remember they are like asking everybody, all of their agents, when they tell you that they had no agent here or there, right? It could be part of their propaganda. Let me tell you what the data says. They have 176,800 polling units or thereabouts in Nigeria. And you have to have agents in all of them to represent you so they can sign your election result and all that. So what happened across Nigeria during that day was that before the day, as you can tell, as you should remember, right? The OB, Labour, SDP, ADC, any other one, they all merged, which gave them an advantage that gave them even bigger and then a wider spread when it comes to the polling unit agents across Nigeria. I mean, ask yourself, if they made a deal with SDP and SDP, right, went on to defeat the APC party chairman at his own senatorial district, does that not mean that they are as deep as that place, right? So when everybody went into the election with their own agent and all that, disobedient went into the election with over or nearly 500,000 polling unit agents across board. Well, they still got rigged. You get what I mean? So they managed to get all the results they needed, and they know that what INEC is announcing, they are absolutely fabricated. In fact, somebody was like explaining how the rigging was done, like in context, explaining that this is how it went, this is how it went. If they have been like uploading the results as they are announcing them at the polling unit, you will be shocked. Technological rigging, right? We're going to go to Atiku's presser next. He has something to say about Peter Obi too.
3 servers, okay.
Yeah. The first one is where they host the website. The second one is where the beaver data is stored.
Okay.
The third one is the intermediary, is the link between when you collect data and you want to upload to the website.
Mm-hmm.
That's the third servers. Now, this is what happened. They switched off the 2 servers, the beaver server and the intermediary server. They switched it off. Now, once they switched it off, because I thought they logged me out of the system because I was like, great hacker that.
How did you know this though?
Because I can hack the system.
Okay.
I'm a software engineer. It's literally not that hard.
Okay.
So I thought that there was actually someone better than me, because initially, truth be told, APC came to meet me and told me, can I help them to like win the election on the beavers? And I told I was not interested.
Okay.
So and I suspected they were going to get someone else. And there's one more person that I could suspect that like he's also on my level that could do it, but he told me that he's not interested. So like he didn't do it.
Okay.
So like I thought they found someone else. So I was monitoring the servers out of due diligence.
Yes.
And I realized for some reason I could not log in. And I thought that they logged me out, or by some miracle we had a very serious cybersecurity team, but that's not what happened. They switched off the server. You cannot connect to something that is offline. So When I found out they switched off the server, I now realized that okay, they switched off the server, but what is going on? Then I inspected the space. It turns out that the space is being consumed without any data being imputed online. So that means someone is manually imputing data.
Imputing the data, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just like buying data, and you left your phone in the house and you have roommates and you have not touched the phone, but you just realize that your 16 gig has finished. So that means someone used it empty and store your data. That's literally what happened. That is literally how they rigged your elections.
Wow.
For somebody who said that is lying, let me explain the practicability of it and then relate it to what happened. Apart from late arrival of the voting materials, as well as inadequate or misprinted ballot papers, which are deliberate as well, yeah? Whenever, for those who finally voted, they started struggling to upload their results everywhere. We can't upload results. What happened? Go offline. Go back to the back end and upload. No. People were beaten up. Coppers were beaten up in some part of Nigeria because they couldn't upload the result and they are not letting them go. All of this, they believe that somebody switched the back end, the back end server off to ensure that you won't have a way of accessing the site and do what you have to do, what their law says you should do. So if you think he's lying, well, that's all right. I mean, you probably have other information that some of us don't. But let's work with that because practically, I mean, the practicability of what he said is obvious. And there are evidence of those who said they couldn't upload anything. Yeah? Until when people started seeing images of people, images of houses as a result of their polling units. Have you checked them out? It's been almost 6 days now after your elections. And guess what? They haven't still uploaded all of the result of the elections on the website of INEC. So people are now asking, where did INEC get all the results they announced? I think that's what Atiku is also asking. Unfortunately, it seems to be late. I don't know. Let's go to the Atiku's presser. In fact, there's somebody I want to tell you about before I take it to the Atiku's presser, because it's also a long stretch, okay? Do you remember this guy? Hang on, let me bring him on. Do you remember this guy? I think he's the Nigeria House of Representatives leader, the leader of the house. I think his name is Adodo Gua. Okay, in case if you don't remember him, all right. His recent outburst, one of his numerous outbursts that are completely, out of space, right? This guy who said Emefiole is denying him 70 million naira that the constitution said they have to give to him for the elections. And he said that would be a problem, right? Yeah, it's the same guy, Adodo Gua, who is very proud that he's got 4 wives, okay? And he has 28 children, or 29 now. And he said that if Nigeria break up, where did Biafrans want him to take his children? If Nigeria break up tomorrow, where do they want him to take his family? So we are not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. We stay together. We die together. So the last time where Dogua was out, I'm still going to tell you what happened to him. Some of you know already, yeah? Well, remember this.
Political office holder to take during campaign to use. A member of the House of Representatives is expected by law to have not more than 70 million naira to conduct his elections and whatever, logistics and other things. 70 million naira. Cash. By law. Yes. A presidential candidate, for instance, needs to have how much? About 5 billion or 1 billion. 1 billion for presidential candidates. At least the law has provided for us the amount of money we need to oversee our election process. You need to pay your agents in the villages where you don't have ATM machines, in the villages where you don't have POS, in the villages where absolutely you don't have this new Naira. So this is money that I require, that the law has permitted me to have 70 million Naira as logistics for my election funding. I need to have this 70 million Naira in hard copy.
In cash, you have to give me that. Emefiole, you need to give me that 70 million naira. I think they gave him, okay, but maybe not in Naira, okay. And if some of you are wondering, what is he talking about? Why did he need money? No, they are not just going to pay the agent. They're going to pay INEC agents too. Do you get what I mean? Something like this, in case if you don't understand.
Bari miki bitiyo wajen. Ya number. Nasa. 2152.
I'm sorry. I was laughing there because I was like, why majority of you are speaking grammar and the rest of that? That's how they conduct elections, mostly in northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria. That's how they conduct elections in Nigeria generally. When they talk about rigging and all of that stuff, logistics, we need to pay our agents, we need to do this or that. And, you know, I mean, come on. A lot of them do that. Here you get. Now let's go to the presser, where Atiku claims they robbed him too. Let's go.
Against dictators. During the military regime, it nearly cost me my life again and the near decimation of my businesses. In the civilian.
And slow down, slow down. I told you, I said I was going to tell you a story about him. Yeah, he got his money. After getting the money, he paid his agent as expected, I believe. But something happened. He has been arrested for murder. And it's not just any murder. Are you with me? He's been remanded in prison as we speak. And he is also the House of Rep elect, even though they will release him soon. So don't kind of feel like justice finally. No. Calm down. You know what he did? He went to his constituency. And I think he faced some level of pushback from unexpected areas. They didn't vote for him. You know what he did? He went back there, rounded them up. Hello? He shot 2 people himself using the gun that belongs to his own policeman, police security detail. A security detail, a policeman. He took his AK-47, shot 2 of the people they rounded up. Another one, they set 12 of them ablaze in a house. They put people inside the house like that. And they set the house ablaze. Almost, the crime was so huge that they couldn't just let it go. While the rest are celebrating Kolu, the guy is waiting for Kolu's call in prison for murder. A murderer is also going to the National Assembly to make laws that will stop killings, murdering, and crime. Abi, they play. That's him being taken to prison. The court said that they should remand him in prison, rather. Yeah. All for elections. Because of these 2023 elections. Right? I'll take you to that Atiku presser now, Was he talking about him being almost killed in fighting for democracy? The old line.
Against dictators. During the military regime, it nearly cost me my life again and the near destruction of my businesses. In the civilian administration, it had serious adverse implications on my political life. But I have remained undoubted because I was and still convinced that the only reason why I am in politics is to work in tandem with other compatriots in the advancement of the well-being of our people. The 2023 presidential election presented our nation and its people the greatest opportunity for a reset. We had everything going for us. A legal framework in the 2022 Electoral Act and the Beavers technology. The enthusiasm of Nigerians to turn out and in large numbers was an added bonus. However, the dreams and aspirations of Nigerians who braved all the challenges to go and cast their votes on Saturday, 25th of February 2023 were shattered by the conduct of the Independent National Electoral Commission, which failed woefully to live up to expectations. The weekend election was neither free nor fair. Preliminary assessments indicate that it is the worst conducted election since the return to democratic rule. The manipulation and fraud that attended this election was unprecedented in the history of our nation. I can still not understand why the electoral empire was in such a hurry to conclude collation and announcement of the results, given the number of complaints and irregularities of bypassing of the Beavers, failure of uploading to the IRV, and unprecedented cancellations and disfranchisement of millions of voters in breach of the Electoral Act and the Commission's own guidelines. It was indeed a rape of democracy. Having consulted with leaders of our party who are seated here with me, and Nigerians from different walks of life, I have come to the conclusion that the processes and outcome of the Presidential and National Assembly elections of last Saturday was grossly flawed in every material particular, and as such must be challenged by all of us. This has been attested to by both local and international observers. Just as I was about to enter this conference hall, the chairman and I read an Austrian report, news report, that the Nigerian drug baron has emerged as the president of Africa. I want to believe that this was not the legacy that President Muhammadu Buhari has promised. For President Buhari, it is not too late to make amends for the good of our country and the future generations, and indeed to assure his legacy. This battle to right the wrongs of Saturday is not about me at all. It is not about me. It is about you, and it is about the future of those of you who are seated here. It is also a continuation of my battles to deepen democracy and for a better life for our people. It is about the future of Nigerian youths. I know that Nigerians, especially the youth, are traumatized by the developments. But I want to urge them to conduct themselves peacefully. Like I have done over the years, I assure you that I will commit the rest of my life in ensuring that true democracy, which affirms the supremacy of your votes and your will take firm footing and guarantee a stable, prosperous, and peaceful Nigeria. This is more so as Nigeria represents the hope of Africa and the Black world. It is my hope that the judiciary will redeem itself this time around and rise to the society's expectation as the last hope of our people. In the end, who wins is not as important as the credibility of our elections and electoral processes. I call on all men and women of goodwill to join hands with us in the vanguard to defend our Constitution from the brigandage of anti-democratic forces. Finally, I urge Nigerians to remain vigilant and resolute. You have the constitutionally guaranteed right of freedom to choose your leaders. We will not, and I repeat, we will not sit idly by and watch your rights taken from you.
Atiku, enough reading. So I want him to speak directly when they ask him questions, okay? Tunapa, Baba, I am still coming there. I mean, the tribal war going on because of the Lagos